Coming up next, I'll share 5 signs that may tell you you're a micromanager. And I'll give you the secret to peak performance. And we take your calls. And it all starts right now. I am coming to you live from Ramsey Solutions Studios in Nashville, and you are joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do that, and then how you get there. Now, let's just think about that. The who, the what, the where, the why, the how. That's what we're doing. We're answering life's big questions. And here's why we do that. Because we believe, as you feel, whether you've articulated this or not, that every person on the planet was created to do something significant in this world, to make a contribution. We're going to look at your work contribution. I believe there's purpose in 2 major areas of our lives, relational and professional. Now, we cover some of the relational stuff because of the journey that we discuss on the professional purpose. But we're focusing on your professional purpose. You were created to work, not as a workaholic, not as you have no value outside of your work. That's not what we're saying. Created to contribute. Just grasp that for a second. So it's not about money, it's about meaning. Now, if you do what you were created to do and you achieve that meaning in your work, success and money will follow. But the intention, the focus, is about meaning. What were you created to do? We're going to help you figure that out. Now, if some of you are watching, and you're all about, hey, I'm watching the show, Ken, because I want you to help me get promoted. Well, you're in good hands. So no matter where you are, I'm unclear, I'm stuck, I'm on the path, I want to keep moving, we're here to help you. It's a caller-driven show. You can call in. 844-747-2577 is the number. Toll free, 844-747-2577. We also have a chat room there. And so if you've got a burning question you're watching right now and you want to fire in a really straightforward question, Ken, here's the question. What do you think? Well, the team is watching and monitoring the chat room. And if we get a really, really good one, well, we'll just throw it in there. I want to point out today, I don't know that we're going to get to the control room for the camera. But Joe and Nathan are both wearing their NFL hats today. Joe with his hometown Tennessee Titans hat. There we go, Joe, turning around and look and wave. And then Nathan, big-time Minnesota Vikings fan. So we've got an NFC, AFC standoff, and I just wanted to point out both guys looking sharp today in the hats. Madison not wearing a hat at all. So we'll see what's going on in the staff meeting prior to see if we can get them all on the same page. But she's talking to folks right now, getting them ready to jump on the phone. So call in, 844-747-2577. Today's article, great piece, very interesting, from May Ting with Business Insider. 5 signs you could be a micromanager. I'm just going to list the signs out because I got words. I got opinions. Number 1, you require every decision to go through you first. Oh my goodness. Not only are you a micromanager, you're an adult. You are the lid on your organization because you just cannot do it all. You may be really, really talented. You just can't do it all. Every decision's got to come through you. I got to tell you, even in the smallest of small businesses, outside of a 1 or 2 or 3 man shop, it starts to get to be too much. Number 2, you take full credit for team projects. Withhold praise from your team. Not only are you a micromanager, you're a megalomaniac. You're not doing it all. So stop acting like you're doing it all. Stop acting like the people on your team are worthless and have no value at all. Kid, I don't believe that. Yeah, you do. Your actions say you do. We'll move on from that one. Too early in the show to be stepping on toes. Number 3, you give your team facts and instructions without asking them questions to see if they've got it. You just go, well, here's the deal. Here's all we got to do. Here's how I want you to do it. And you're not asking them if they get it. You know why? Because you're already dialed in to micromanage everything they do anyway. Why would you ask them? You're going to be hovering over them. Yikes. Number 4, you don't ask for feedback on big picture goals and priorities. Again, that they cannot do it absent of your oversight and instruction. So therefore, by default, you devalue and you don't appreciate their work. How could you? You think that they only do their work because of your genius. So ridiculous, so pathetic. Let me tell you this. When you're a micromanager, you are the lid on your organization because you're the lid on your team. Your team will not grow because you don't allow them to grow. And if you're not seeing growth in your people and your people don't feel like they're growing, they're going to eventually leave you. I'm telling you. The person who wants just a job and is willing to put up with crap their whole professional life, and there's a lot of those people, they'll stay with you, but not the rock stars. They just won't. Humans are creatures of progress, and micromanagers stunt growth and thus progress. So if you're working for a micromanager, beware. Beware. I don't know how much better that's going to get. But for those of you who are leading a team right now, if any of those 5 things sounds remotely close to you, you better get a wake-up call. And I'm trying to give it to you. 844-747-2577 coming up in a little bit. We'll get to our Momentum Monday. We've got some fun updates. And I'm going to teach on the secret to peak performance. What's the secret to peak performance in your professional life? And I would also tell you, this has a personal application as well. So that's going to be great stuff coming up a little bit later. But first we get to the phones, 844-747-2577. Springvale, Maine is where Bree joins us. Bree, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thank you for taking my call.
You bet. How can I help?
So I'm currently working at a job as a molecular chemist, and we make the COVID-19 rapid test.
Okay.
When I first started this job about a year ago, pre-pandemic, we were a small team of 4, but now since the pandemic, we've grown to over 25.
Wow.
In this time, I'm taking on roles that I didn't originally plan to be taken on. I've been promoted, and I have just a lot more responsibility than I originally wanted, and it's really burning me out. And I'm stuck between staying at this job or moving on to find something else. Just to give you a little bit of background, I'm 23, married. We don't have kids yet, but that's in the near future, something we're hoping to do, and on baby steps 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, good for you.
My true dream job is to be a stay-at-home mom to raise our future children, and I'm wondering if I should stay home and kind of maybe find something else, or if I should stick it out. And the reason why I would want to stick it out is because we're set to pay off our house in September 2022. And I'm wondering if I should just, push through it, a year and a half, or if I should look to find something else, knowing that really at the end of the day, my dream job is to stay at home with our kids.
I would stay where you are, but I would try to make some adjustments, and I think you can. I think the way you laid that out was so beautiful. Congratulations, by the way. You and your husband are crushing it to be 23 and to be in a place where you're going to pay your house off. For you non-Ramsey Ramsey show listeners, if you're not familiar with Dave Ramsey, baby step 4, 5, and 6 to catch the rest of you up is 15% of their income. Bree and her husband, they are putting 15% of their income away towards retirement. And baby step 5 is saving for eventual kiddies in the college fund. And baby step 6 is paying off the house. The fact that you're going to pay the house off in a little bit over a year and a half, or right at a year and a half from now, if I heard you correctly, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
I think you got to go in and go, they like you. They have liked you enough to where they said, we're going to promote you and give you more responsibility. And I think you have to determine what's causing me to feel burned out. There's 5 causes of what I call buildup. Burnout is just what you feel. Buildup is what's happening. Either you have no juice for the job, so no passion, which is fine because you're not in it much longer anyway. It's a great day job because your dream job is being a mommy. And that's awesome, by the way, Bree. I think that's the best. The other reason, going through the 5 reasons here, I want to get your take. So 1 is no juice, no passion for the job. 2 is a toxic environment, leadership or coworkers. 3 is you're overwhelmed and drinking from a fire hydrant when you walk in every day. I think that's one of them for sure. 4 is underappreciated. You're not being recognized or rewarded for your efforts beyond money. And then 5, you're bored out of your skull. I don't think 5 is an option. So when you hear those, what's causing you to feel burnout as a result of build up?
I think it's definitely I'm trying to drink from a fire hose.
Yeah, 100%.
Sure. Yeah,
all right, so can you talk to your leader? Do you have a good relationship with your leader to where if you were transparent and you weren't griping, which I don't think that's who you are, and you went in healthy and humble and said, hey, here's what's going on. I feel like I'm drowning. Is there any way for me to continue to be a high performer, which you are and have been, but not feel like I'm drowning when I get in the parking lot? Do you feel comfortable having that conversation with your leader?
I do, but my one concern is that everybody that's above me, the people that are now above me are my old coworkers. So like I said, we started with that team of 5.
Yeah.
Everybody but me got promoted to like a manager position, and that was really just purely I had been there the shortest amount of time as everybody.
And you've largely got an assembly line set up, like we're making these tests as fast as we can make them. That's really what's going on?
Essentially, yeah.
Well, that's going to calm down at some point.
I think we also make other tests, like we make the strep, flu, RSV test as well. So there's other tests that are also big on our line, and those we're all back ordered right now. So
are you working 50, 60 hours a week? What's the story?
So right now I am working about 45 hours a week. They moved me to salaried, which has actually been detrimental because I still have to come in, for some overtime, and that's kind of a sore spot that I have with them as well.
Yep.
And their excuse is, well, we're corporate now and everything's moving slower than it used to, and that I should just be patient.
Right.
But they've been telling me for 2 months now that I'm going back to hourly.
All right.
With the same job title. But.
Well, I would hold them accountable to that with a good attitude, right? But it sounds like to me that because everybody's pulling the crazy hours, there's really no relief right now until they get to a point where they're hiring more people and it begins to slow down a bit.
Yes.
I mean, here's the issue. I like when people go to their leader with a solve, not just hey, I'm feeling burned out. So what would you change, just for fun? Let's spend a minute on this. What would you change if you were in charge today? What needs to change so that you don't feel overwhelmed, like you're drinking from a fire hose when you walk in?
I think there are some underperformers on the team that aren't really being held accountable, and I would either hold them more accountable or hire people that are more.
Do you have the ability to push that idea through?
I have tried, and they said they're handling it.
Okay. Well, how long ago was that?
I'd say about 6 months ago.
Oh, boy. Yeah. So it's the extra 5 hours that's really causing this, or is it just the pressure coming in?
It's the pressure. It's really not it's not the pressure.
All right.
It is the pressure. Sorry.
All right. So now I've diagnosed the situation. I don't know that you're going to love my answer, but I think you can, you've got an option to just bite your lip and go, you know what? I'm going to figure out a way to deal with this pressure, because it seems like everybody's dealing with the same pressure. So it's not like you're being singled out. It's not like you're kind of in your own little island over there and everybody's ignoring you. Am I right?
Yes, I think my situation is unique, though, because I'm higher than the other 25 people, but I'm still lower than the people that I originally started with, and I'm the only person in that situation.
Right, but the point is they're all burning the candle pretty full, too. They're all feeling the pressure, too, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so my point is, one option is you just figure out a way to go, wait a second, I can control how I feel and think. I really can. When an emotion comes in here, I can control how I react to that emotion, thus how I think. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
All right, so that's one way. And you go, you know what? This is a great day job right now. It's allowing me to make some really good money to meet my financial and personal goals. Okay? So you just deal with it and you learn to overcome it. And you come up with some great self-care tactics every morning before you start. It's just the two of you when you come home. And do what you got to do, to relax. You don't have kiddos. Enjoy this time, believe me. Okay? So just have a great way of relieving the stress, taking care of yourself. Don't get all hung up on it, and realize it is what it is. It's short-term, but a great short-term solution for your dreams. That's option A. Option B is you go work for somebody else where it's just 40 hours and you're not slammed. And that may or may not affect your payoff date. If you can replace your current income, go for it. I think those are your two options. I don't think you have to stay there. I don't think you're limited to just staying at this one company. But I think you have to weigh it. You have to look out there and look around and decide, should I stay or should I go? And I think that both of those are viable options. 844-747-2577. Cole is up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Cole, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. How are you doing? I appreciate you, and I appreciate your time. I called in last year, and you helped me out quite a bit.
Oh, great.
Just kind of nervous. I got an interview next week. I was let go from my previous job about 3 weeks ago, so I'm just really nervous about interviewing for this job, just because that question is going to come up. Thank you. Appreciate it. My previous job, they had promised that it would be 12 weeks of training. I was commuting an hour every day. I gave it my all. And one day they just brought me aside and just said things weren't working out for them. I just wasn't cutting it. They didn't give me any warning or anything. They just said I was done.
Did you get the training that you were supposed to get?
Well, like I said, it's supposed to be out of 12 weeks, and I only made it through week 4, so I didn't even get.
Okay. I'm sorry, I missed that. So
No, that's okay.
So they let you go really a third of the way through the training.
Yeah. So I just kind of want to know.
Why do you think they let you go?
I really don't know. I don't know if they said I wasn't progressing well enough, but I honestly don't think that was a reason. I just thinking it was an internal decision. It's just obviously something you have to get past, but
yeah, but here's the deal. You called me because you're nervous about the interview question coming up. But why are you applying here, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
What's your answer right now without me coaching you? What are you going to say right now? If you got that question right now, what would you say?
I would just say that they stated that it just wasn't the right fit for me, and then I would just go into how it was a positive experience for me and just kind of build off of that. Do
you agree it wasn't the right fit, or are you still kind of going, Ken, I don't know what happened. I'm kind of stunned.
I would probably say a little of both. Okay,
that concerns me. I got to tell you, that concerns me. That you are kind of going, I thought I was doing a good job. Now, that concerns me from one of two ways. Either I don't have the advantage of knowing what they're thinking. So either they're unhealthy leaders and they wanted more than was reasonable because you hadn't been trained, and they're the kind of people that go, well, we're going to do 12-week training, but we're really looking for the people that get it really fast. And the people that get it fast, we keep them. The others, we churn them. It's kind of like a bad teacher in an elementary class, The teacher's only really going to teach the ones that get it really easy. The kids that don't get it right away, i.e. Ken Coleman, hello, then they don't work with those kids. They kind of overlook them. That could be the situation. Or you weren't getting it. You were in a position where you aren't a good fit because you didn't have the aptitude necessary, the talent, or maybe your learning ability is a little bit slower. Hey, again, that's me. That was me my whole life in school. So we have to, but I think it's really important that you do your best to try to figure out what it was. You're telling me you got no idea why you weren't getting it fast enough, or nobody told you, hey, you're not getting it. What were you doing? What's the work?
I was a 911 operator, and I had performance reviews every day. It was just daily things for me to improve on, but it was nothing as if they were saying, hey, your job is on the line or anything. Doesn't
matter. They kept giving you things to improve on. Did you improve on them, or was it the same thing over and over again?
No, I felt like I improved on it.
No, I didn't ask you if you felt like it. I'm asking you if the things were coming off the list. Like if somebody says to me, Ken, you got to work on this, this, and this, eventually I want to remove those things from the list. I don't mind if they bring me new things, but I don't want the same things on the list all the time. I'm asking you, did that happen?
Some things were, and I'll be honest, some things weren't.
Okay, what were those things? I'm trying to help you with some awareness right now.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're one of their biggest dissatisfactions, I would say, is the addressing and getting the addresses and mapping down of their city, which, I wasn't from that city. Like I said, I was commuting an hour. So the city that my interview is in, I'm more familiar with and whatnot. So I think that would be an advantage
Okay,
me.
but what's the takeaway for you? Excuse me. Were you not doing the work to memorize the map? Were you not getting familiar with that local municipality? I mean, why were you not getting that?
I would just say I'm probably not studying it a little bit, but also just, there's a lot to learn. I think just being overwhelmed with, aside from that, the other information that was thrown at me, there was a lot of information in that few weeks' time. So.
Right. Are you applying for the same kind of work?
Somewhat. The new job is actually a police officer position. So.
Well, but that's not 911 responder in a call center. That's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like I got enough information to give you some advice. When the question comes up, go, you know what? I jumped into it. It's an intense 12-week training program, intense job. And I don't think I made the right decision by doing this in a city that I wasn't familiar with. So there was a lot of stuff coming at me, and I didn't have the familiarity of the city that I needed to have. And just kind of keep it high level and say it's a churn and burn type job. And I came in, and you either get it pretty quickly or you don't. And the reality is that I think it was mutual in that I realized it's not the best fit for me. They realized it wasn't the best fit. And so that's why I'm applying for this, because I care deeply. And then you spin it into why you want to protect and serve.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But take the high road. Great. I thought your answer was pretty good, but I dug into that a little bit because I think you've got to have a true understanding and acknowledge why it wasn't a good fit from your previous company's point of view, or previous organization, and from your point of view. And the more you know about why it wasn't a good fit, then you own it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen,
all right.
And I'm going to tell you something right now. This is why relationships and connections matter so much. A resume without a relationship is worthless. To overcome short employment like this, where it didn't work out and you don't want it to make you look bad or whatever, which is reasonable, that's why relationships really, really matter. So that people are hearing great things about you, and then you can kind of go, hey, I tried it. I thought it was going to be great. What I learned is I should have dug into it a little bit more. Agree it wasn't the greatest fit. Really glad, because it kind of gave me the ding, 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 ding. This is why I shouldn't be doing that. And this is what I really want to do. And I'm really equipped for this. Not a great fit. This is a great fit. You have to focus on that. And again, relationships get you over any stigma that you might be bringing into the job interview because of past employment. It's where relationships get you to the point where you're so highly recommended and there's credibility and trust with somebody that they overlook that stuff. See, that's the human component. See, when we know somebody or know about somebody, we tend to overlook things. We hear lots of good things. We'll overlook something that may ordinarily we wouldn't overlook if it was a total stranger. Get that. Really get that. Because when you understand that little nugget right there, it helps you understand why I'm always telling you that the human connection is so vitally important to getting you where you want to go. 844-747-2577. When we come back, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got a couple of Momentum Monday updates, and I'm going to teach on the secret to peak performance in your professional and in your personal life. Don't move. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
The Ken Coleman Show continues, where we give you clarity on your journey to doing what you were created to do in your work. You can call it the dream job. You could call it whatever you want to call it, meaningful work. But all of us long to do something that matters, and we're helping you figure out what that is and then get there. And one of the things I love that we do is every Monday, we just give you little updates from our viewers and listeners who share with us how they are making progress. Some progress is bigger than others. No amount of progress is too small to email us, ask@kencoleman.com, and let us brag on you. Let us read your story. Because people are out there and they're just looking for that nudge, that bit of confidence that they need. And sometimes it's your story that they hear or they see me read and they go, that sounds like me. Oh, I can do that. So let's do this. Joe, it's time for Momentum Monday. First email comes in from David. Again, the email to send us your story is ask@kencoleman.com, or you can go to my Instagram page, @KenColeman, and share your story there in the DMs. Hey, Ken, I wanted to give you some background. I moved from one state to another in 2019, and in doing so, I made the decision to say goodbye to a retail job that I'd had for just over 5 years. I am disabled with cerebral palsy. And I knew the current job I was in was not going to give me a full-time job, and I wanted to find something new. For 8 months, I struggled to find my path. One day I came across one of your YouTube videos where you were helping a caller who was searching for their dream job. As I watched, I went into 3 questions that I almost immediately got answers to. What strong talent do I have? I can talk to anyone. What group of people can I impact the most? Disabled students. What field would allow me to combine these 2 things? Education. I want to tell you that I first thought that I didn't want to be a teacher. I wanted to be more in a supportive role. I was then inspired to talk to a student advisor at a major university who broke down the steps I would need to make that happen. And I could tell you that for the first time in my life, I have a clear path to do what I was born to do. Thank you. Well, David, thank you for sharing. That is so awesome. Heather sent us a message on Instagram. Hey, Ken, I've gotten really clear. I'm going to apply for college and get the degree I need to become a veterinarian. It has been my dream since I was a child, and it hasn't changed. I've just been afraid to take the leap. Now, I'm almost 35, and I will start my journey, which will probably take 8 years. I have a lot of savings, and I know that I can cash flow through. I can get there. My husband and I are on the same page, and we can do this. I might even have to sell my house. But I'm excited because I can finally follow my dream. Oh, my goodness. I love that. So good. So good. You know, folks, it never gets old to take a call, to read an email or social media post of somebody who says, hey, I finally figured it out. See, that finally figured it out, no matter how old they are, no matter how long it took them. Everybody's timeline is different. But that realization to me just crystallizes what I know to be true and what I say at the start of every show, that every human being longs to make this contribution that is significant to them because they see the significance of the contribution to others. So your why is not about you, it's about others. And this idea of work being this just, I gotta do this just so I can pay the bills. Who wants to live that way? The answer is nobody wants to live that way. But I believe that it is that change and striking out on a path that has so many unknowns to it is so scary that most people would rather be miserable than uncomfortable. And I'm trying to get you comfortable with being uncomfortable because it's so much better than miserable. I promise. So let me help. 844-747-2577. Coming up in just a few minutes. The secret to peak performance in your professional life and in your personal life. Super, super powerful secret. And it's not going to shock you once you figure it out. But first, we go to Winton, California. Hugo is there. Hugo, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, how's it going, Ken Coleman?
Man, I'm having a blast. I got to tell you, I love the name Hugo. I wish my name was Hugo.
Right.
If it was the Hugo Coleman Show, it'd be so much better, I think.
Every time, it'd be awesome.
Come on, man. What's going on with you today, sir?
Well, I've been driving truck, big rigs for about a year now, and I originally started this because my company wasn't looking too good, and I didn't want to start all over again. So I said I'm gonna get a career. So when I got my career, I got my Class A license with my endorsements, and then I told them, I go, hey, can I switch over to your guys' trucking side? They told me I needed experience, so I was like, okay, that's fine. So I took it's called a sabbatical leave for 1 year, and I went and started driving for a new company, and they recently called me and were like, hey, we're willing to drop down our requirements if you're willing to come over. And they're offering me my 4 weeks vacation back, my 3 floater holidays, plus I'll be making more money than I'm making now.
And you're calling me, oh, here it comes. I was like, man, this sounds great. Here we go. Here's the big question. Talk to me.
The thing is the schedule. It's a night schedule, and I'm kind of really like, I really love the schedule I have right now.
Why? Why do you love the schedule right now? Why do you love the schedule so much?
Because it's Monday through Friday, 4 a.m. to 4 in the afternoon. It's not bad, you know. And and they treat me pretty good right here, but they're offering me a lot over there, and I'm still.
What's your heart telling you to do? No, this is. Let me tell you what this is. You tell me if I'm wrong. I think this is a wrestling match between your head and your heart. Your head's telling you to take the extra money and the vacation because that's what anybody that you would talk to on the street, at least that's what you think, or any of your friends and family would tell you to do. That's the no-brainer decision. And you're going, yeah, I know that's the no-brainer decision on paper, but my heart's saying no. I think I'll call Ken up and see what he thinks. Is that about what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, that's about right.
So what's your heart telling you?
Actually, my heart's split because I worked over there for 18 years. So, I mean, you know, I know a lot of people over there. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm going back and forth.
That's not your heart. That's not what your heart's telling you. That's your head.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You called me a few moments ago. What was your heart telling you to do? Because you called me basically to go, Ken, what do you think? Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I think. I think if you've got some short-term financial goals, that this job, this old job, so let's call it old job, and we got our current job. So the old job, if you've got some financial goals that this old job can help you accomplish much faster, then and if it doesn't eat into your family life in a way that's negative to you, that would hurt your heart deeply, because we haven't talked about your family situation. I don't know what it is, really don't need to know. You know what it is. So if it doesn't hurt your relationships and hurt your heart, and it fast forwards your financial goals, I would lean towards doing that, because you don't have to stay with them forever. You can leave them at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing why I'm kind of want to go with them too, because I need like another year experience. And if I can get it with them, it'll be like, my resume will look really good.
Then take the money. And I mean, is this going to hurt your personal life in some way?
Not really, because I did that old schedule that they're offering me. I did that for 18 years. So you know, my wife, she's real understanding. You know, the kids are older now. We can. What's the wife
want you to do?
She basically left it up to me.
Yeah.
She goes, it's on you. What you want to do.
Let me just ask you this. With that financial increase, how does that further you on not just getting the year's experience that will then set you up to go do a lot of other things, which sounds to me like this is a great decision. This is a great decision for you professionally to go back. Okay?
Yeah.
But it's also sounds like a really good financial decision. I want you to just focus on, give me 20 seconds of all the things that's going to allow you to get ahead on financially. Give me something.
Oh, man, it'll help me with my bills, because we are struggling right now a little bit with, you know, because of this other job.
Do you have any debt?
Yeah, I have some debt.
How much?
It would help me out with, I would say at least 20.
Are you familiar with Ramsey Solutions and our financial piece and Ramsey Plus, where you can get on a plan to pay off the debt using our 7 baby steps? Are you familiar with this?
Not really. I mean, I listened to him a little bit, but I really never.
Oh, Hugo. Okay, you ready for this? Okay, so here's the deal.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a free subscription to Ramsey Plus. Now, inside of Ramsey, let me tell you what's in it, and then I'm going to explain what you're doing. Okay? Inside it, you're going to have the 9-week series, or you can watch it on demand whenever you want to, but it's Dave Ramsey, my colleague Chris Hogan, and Rachel Cruz, Anthony O'Neill teaching on the 7 baby steps. Baby step 1 is you put $1,000 in a savings account as an emergency fund, right? Then, okay, then you start working on a budget. And we're going to budget. We're going to try to spend every dollar when your paycheck comes in. Spend every dollar on paper. We have a budgeting tool called Every Dollar that will go right to your phone, smart device. You can even connect it for a small amount of money to your bank account. You got to know where your money's going, Hugo. You get yourself a working budget, and then you start attacking the debt. Smallest debt to large. So if you've got about $20,000, let's say one of those debts is $4,000, you pay the smallest one off first. Then after you pay off that, and I'm making this up, but after you pay off that smallest $4,000 debt or whatever it would be, you take that payment that you've been paying and you roll it into the next largest debt. Now you've increased your payment. Making sense so far?
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah. Making sense.
Here's my point. You get your debt paid off, and then you move into baby step. That's baby step 2. Baby step 3 is you put 3 to 6 months of your salaried expenses of what you would bring home every month. You're going to put that away, and now that's a really robust emergency fund. After that is fully funded, you're going to start putting 15% of your income towards retirement. Okay? Now, that's a game changer, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
All right, now look, Ramsey Plus, and then you got your goal. And by the way, beyond what I just told you, the financial piece and the baby steps teaching you that, then you got your Every Dollar, which is a world-class budgeting tool you and your wife can have on your phones and just totally be in sync. And then number 3, it's going to have a goal tracker. It's an app that'll help you track your payoff goals, paying off the debt. Stay on the line. Okay. Madison is going to get you connected to Ramsey Plus. My gift to you. Okay. Getting your financial house in order, Hugo, is a game changer. And yes, the answer is take the old job because now you have the money necessary to no longer struggle. But more importantly, now you got the know-how. Following Ramsey Solutions' plan to live like no one else, so later you can live and give like no one else. Imagine you, Hugo, a year from now having that experience you want to get an even better job, but more money and you're out of debt. Listen, you and your wife, you get serious with what I'm giving you with Ramsey Plus. You guys will be out of debt in a year. You can pay off $20,000 in a year.
No, shoot. Okay.
I know. Yeah. Oh, shoot. That's what you ought to be saying. Listen, because when you pay off debt, and then you put 3 to 6 months emergency fund in the bank, how good are you and your wife going to sleep every night?
Oh, yeah. That's a lot better.
And then, and then listen, and not only are you winning financially by going back to the old job, but you're winning professionally because you're qualifying yourself for even better jobs, even more money. And imagine the next promotion, Hugo. And when you take that promotion, you're debt free, and you got an emergency fund in the bank, and you got. Oh yeah! Come on, man! Come on, hey!
That sounds good.
Yes, sir. It does. Listen, and you're not living paycheck to paycheck. You got extra, and you that extra includes putting 15% away to retirement. And all of a sudden, you could see a path where you're a millionaire by just investing that 15% every month and never stop.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be, not only is it going to be awesome, it's going to be a reality. Are you willing to do what it takes?
Oh, yeah.
All right, my man.
Yeah.
Hang on the line.
In my career.
Hang on the line, man. Financial peace is coming your way, but take the old job today. Call them today. Don't think about it. Take it.
Okay, then. All right.
I mean, listen, so I call them as soon as Madison's done talking to you and getting you what you need for Ramsey Plus. Come on, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Come on. All right. Here we go. What is the secret to peak performance in your professional and personal life? You ready? I need a drum roll for things like this, Joe. Don't worry about it now. Oh, you got a drum roll. Oh, fantastic. Here it is. Self-awareness. Self-awareness. Wait a second, Ken. Come on. No, think about this. Knowing what you're really, really good at, your strengths, talent, skills. Knowing what you're not so good at, what you suck at. Oh, it's just so good if you know this stuff. Why? Just that alone, let's just take that for a second. Just that alone allows you to perform at an optimum level because you're aware of what you're not good at. So you shouldn't take a job or be in a job where you're doing things, hello leaders, because you have micromanaging problems. We talked about this at the beginning of the program, and you actually suck at it. What are you doing? It's sucking the life out of you. Your team knows you're not very good at it. Just think about being free of that. Think about letting your coworkers know, your spouse, your kids, hey, you know what? I just realized Dad's not very good at this. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. You know, my wife is the homework queen. She's great at it with the kids. She's much more patient than I am, turns out, Joe. Shocker. She's not as intense as I am. Okay? Guess what, though? Joe, I'm great at folding laundry. I'm great at loading the dishwasher, cleaning up the kitchen, doing the Swiffer on the hardwoods. That's what I do while Stacy's helping with homework, right? We're a team. I mean, I'm having some fun with this, but it's like, hey, I'm not good. I can help a little bit, but I can't be the guy that wrangles. It's just not a good win for us. So I need to be aware of that. Believe me, my wife made me aware of it. My kids made me aware of it. I accepted it. Be aware what you're awful at in your personal life and professional life. Think about it. All right, now let's flip this real quick. That's the what you're good at, what you're not so good at. Hey, how about what you love to do versus what sucks the ever-living soul out of you? When you walk around during your day, hey, this lifts me or this drains me. Write it down. This type of work lifts me or this type of work drains me. Be self-aware. Now let's look at the personality side of things. This kind of stuff, when people do this or when I'm in this situation, stresses me, makes me intense, triggers me. This kind of situation over here, I'm calmer, I'm happier. I'm just giving you a quick way of looking at self-awareness. Hey, what's true about me when it comes to talent and sucking? What's true about me in enjoyment versus draining? What's true about me when I'm acting like a really nice person versus I'm grumpy or whatever? Or I'm feeling free versus scared? You plug it in. Folks, listen to me. Self-awareness is the key to peak performance. It just is. Because when I'm aware, I am, number one, intentional to get in a place where I'm operating in a place where I'm going to win. And as a part of that, I'm realizing areas where I'm weak and not going to win. And so I mitigate, I plan, I remove, I delegate, whatever the action is. And what happens is you're performing at your best most days because you don't have as many hurdles. You are removing the roadblocks, the hurdles, the stumbling blocks. That's why in your professional and personal life, hey, I need to be self-aware. When am I at my best? Why am I at my best in these situations? And look at the flip side. When am I at my worst? Why am I at my worst? That information, when you own it, I got news for you. Everybody else that you work and live with, they know. So if you don't know, not only are you not performing at a peak level, but you're causing problems for everybody else. Be aware. Self-awareness, game changer. There you go. You want to perform at a peak level in your professional and personal life? Grab self-awareness, get okay with it, get used to getting feedback, be okay with needing to fix stuff, and watch your life improve immeasurably. My time is almost up. But before I let you go, you matter, and you do have what it takes. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.